has recently published an op-ed calling for the government of Israel to consider the economic consequences of occupying Gaza. Karnit Flug is the former governor of the Bank of Israel and is a senior fellow at the Israel Democracy Institute. She joins us live from Tel Aviv. It's good to have you. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. You wrote that piece before the ground offensive in Gaza began. How concerned are you now that Israel has entered this phase?
Well, I think that the continuing war will have very heavy consequences on the economy, both in terms of the costs of the war, but also in terms of the isolation. Israel's economy benefited greatly from being part of the global economy. Our markets are overseas, our investors are overseas, and I think that isolation will be very damaging to the economy.
And Netanyahu himself just addressing the growing pressure from UN member states, many of whom he was referring to as shameful in their decision to recognise a Palestinian state. This was his speech last hour, or part of it at least. Let's have a listen.
Astoundingly, as we fight the terrorists who murdered many of your citizens, you are fighting us. You condemn us, you embargo us, and you wage political and legal warfare, it's called lawfare, against us. I say to the representatives of those nations, this is not an indictment of Israel. It's an indictment of you.
I just wonder how you expect those sort of comments to be received.
Well, I'm not sure I'm the right person to comment on that, but I think part of what Netanyahu tried to say is that the interests of Israel and some of our Western allies are aligned, and I can say that they're certainly aligned in the economic sphere. So I think that if our markets are closed, if our very innovative products do not have the markets in the Western countries, I think it will definitely be detrimental to our economy and to our high-tech sector, but I think it will be also detrimental to those who actually enjoyed our products, our very innovative high-tech sector products in very many areas.
And what you've just said echoed in your piece when you write this scenario of Israel's economy being battered on multiple fronts would have unprecedented consequences for citizens. Can Israel, or how long can Israel, perhaps is the question, withstand the long-term consequences of this war? And I guess what I'm speaking to there are the physical costs, but also the reputational costs.
Yeah, so first of all, I should say that so far the economy exhibited an unbelievable resilience in the face of 2 years of war. And the economy is strong. Actually, it recovered quite strongly from the war in the beginning of the war in October 7 of 2023. But it has a heavy cost, and we see it already in the strained public finances, and that will get much heavier if the war continues, and certainly if we occupy Gaza, because then it will not be only the cost of the military, of the army, of the reservists, and so on, but also the need to supply the basic humanitarian needs of the population if we occupy Gaza and if we stay there. And what it would mean is heavier taxes and lower services also for the Israeli public.
And I wonder whether you support the policy of further normalization with other Arab states or Arab states, other countries around the region. After all, the bilateral sort of opportunities that have come from the current Abraham Accords, of course, have, or certainly were, very positive for the Israeli economy. Does it worry you that further normalization seems as far away as ever at this point? I mean, this is about economic integration around the region. It was supposed to be good news for Israel, of course, wasn't it?
Yeah, I certainly hope that actually the conditions will be such that the Abraham Accords can be expanded to other countries. I think we have already benefited a lot from these agreements, us and also our partners. And I hope that the situation here changes in a direction that these accords will be expanded, because I think they really bring great potential to the region and obviously also to Israel.
It's good to have you. Thank you very much indeed for your perspective today, an important one for us here on Connect the World. Thank you.